All right.
I was just wondering, can I take my Be Real on this really quick?
Yeah.
You guys know what that is?
The B-roll? My bad.
No, be real.
Oh yeah. You like Cypress Hill?
Yeah, pretty much. It takes a picture of the front and back of like what I'm doing each day, and I think that's kind of cool that I'm like on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy zany dudes.
Yeah, do your thing.
Shoot away.
Wait, hold on. There you can see. So see,
There we go.
it shows like what I'm up to today.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Is that an app? I need that.
It is cool. Yeah, it basically I have like a calendar of like my most exciting thing of the day, and it takes front like you can see my calendar here. It does like front and back facing.
Nice.
But then it helps me kind of remember what I was up to each day.
That's cool.
Trying to prevent early stage.
I'm the still of us. How would you
So you can remember it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They say music is actually one of the triggers that there was actually a cool Netflix documentary back in the day. It was like The Inner Echoes or something like that. It's probably not the name, but it was about Alzheimer's, and this guy would just like research the most lethargic patients with Alzheimer's, like talk to the families, really like what music they listen to, and he would throw them headphones on and they would come back. It was insane.
I believe that. I think music is so powerful.
Okay, you ready for this? I like big butts and I cannot lie. Come on, everybody. You
makes a lot.
And then not.
Right?
Around
everyone, right? See what I'm saying? You get sprung, right? Everyone knows, right? But see, you might not know. You got to hear it first, though. Then it triggers it.
It does.
Right?
It takes you back to a place and time too.
See?
Oh yeah.
For me.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
trigger something in the memory.
Welcome back.
They say that your hearing is the first thing that comes back to you when you lose consciousness, and it's the last thing to go when you lose consciousness too.
Oh shit!
I know.
That's why they always.
That's why you hear all these things
like, hey, hey, and then you come to, right? You know they have that scene where everyone's looking over you.
You like know you can hear it, but you're like out. Yeah.
And then they fade it into the picture, right? But you can listen to the audio first.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool. Yeah. See, it's not just in the movies.
It's real.
We're made of sound, to begin with. Sound.
Vibrations. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Sound first.
Very powerful.
And then light.
Thing.
Listen, I'm on psychedelics right now. I can tell you it's true.
Very powerful.
Are you on psychedelics too right now, Jen?
Not right now. But.
I actually got
not right now, but the night is still young, everybody. The night is still young.
I want to say like the first how many episodes have we done of this? I want to say like the first 38 straight. I did mushrooms on it, and then at one point maybe 5 or 6 deep, Hustler joined me, and we went on like a marathon. We just always did this show on mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, did you feel like the show went on forever when you did that?
I don't know. I mean,
because
time doesn't exist. I famously always swear time doesn't exist on mushrooms, and that's usually like my excuse for there went 8 hours. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, you know what? And we totally glossed over that part in here because Keely, she's got some random thoughts in her mind about just a lot of random things, and one of them is that how time doesn't exist. Bogard didn't bring this up, and how calendars exist clocks exist. But time is time is just this thing that we all
how does she explain again? Because I had a little
well, she has to have experimented to have these thoughts.
For sure.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
He's from SoCal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Probably had a few reefers, a couple of mushrooms here and there. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah.
Keely, get down. I appreciate the character. You know what I mean? Like, this is the best thing that ever happened to Brett. You know what I mean?
It is.
Brett's life was whack before this.
He's the assistant.
Cindy.
He's the assistant. He's the assistant to the assistant manager of the produce section, but he has the aspiring dreams.
The slow clap.
To having 25 joints under his belt. He was
his mom has in the early stages of dementia. Like, he doesn't have a lot of things going for him.
I think
Could
she's
you
pretty deep into it.
imagine if like there was a scene where Keely just got him high?
Yeah, see, right?
I mean,
I would just ideas for part 2.
I can see him being really paranoid too.
that's
Oh
what
yeah, you know what? You're
He's
right.
laughing.
That may
He's
not
paranoid.
go so well for him.
You know who they would get the weed from?
OCD.
The fairy godmother.
Yes.
oh yeah.
There's no doubt.
What do you
There's
think
no
he's doing
doubt.
while he's
He's
chilling,
probably
bro?
got a whole bag full of treats.
He knows everywhere. He knows the whole town. He's like,
He
listen, I
does.
got everything.
He's the only Uber driver in town.
I
He's
don't
the
got
only
it.
guy
I
who
know
delivers
the guy.
weed in town.
I could see that dude going around just like blessing the town. He's like, I know what they need. He's like, you guys ever see It's a Wonderful Life? He's like the Clarence, that guardian angel that drops down. Like, I'm gonna
He's
give
like
you
an
this.
angel. I almost said that earlier.
What's that?
Yeah, he is like an angel. I
Yeah,
almost said that
he is.
earlier.
You goddamn right. In It's a Wonderful Life,
Yeah, he's
Like,
the
yeah,
guy
hell
that,
yeah,
like,
he's like a-
drops
he's like a
down.
magical
I know what
dude.
you need.
the
Yeah.
magical character.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to have one of those.
Yeah, and instead of him getting his wings, he gets his wheels. I don't know what happens, but anyways.
he
gets
Harriet. You know what I mean?
He gets blessed with like a gold club. Remember the club back in the day? It's like a gold club to protect.
Oh yes.
Oh nah, bro. He get blessed
Gold
with like
club.
he gets blessed with like the Uber XL this time. You know what I mean? Like he's like
Yeah.
he got
Every
like the Range
every
Rover.
time he does something great, his car just upgrades. Like pretty soon he'll be like in an Escalade.
He got the Bentley truck next. You know what I
And
mean?
he's
Like,
got rims that are gold plated and spinning. He's like, yeah, you can see everybody I've blessed in this town. It's
this
great.
shit is his headlights, they shine perpetual light.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right, so Nelson, you can bring us up to speed here of where we are. So I mean, we've already.
I'm doing a great job doing that too. Bring you guys up to speed.
I love
Miss Nelson.
I'm doing an amazing job.
I'm gonna keep throwing it back. We're just gonna keep doing it. So we already had it. So in Act 2, we covered them spending the night.
Oh yeah, hold on. Last time on Silver Screen Breakdowns.
Well, this is
In
the
Act
third act,
2,
of course.
Yeah,
Go
in
on,
Act
Bogey.
2, in Act 2, they spend the night together. They go to the Lucky Dog.
It was beautiful.
They go to the park.
They
They
made
go-
love.
Perfect.
They go to the Santa Monica Pier. Well, you know what happened. That's what he said. They spent the night
They
together.
got busy.
Just like he says, you know what happened. And then they make it to the Santa Monica Pier, the wardrobe change and all that, and then they're having their meal and
Drinks, meal, yep.
that's where we're at.
Yeah, they have drinks. Drinks more importantly than the meal. That's
Yeah,
what
I don't even know if they ate. They're
Yeah,
always
she's-
sitting down eating and
It breaks-
drinking.
Celebrating with a glass of wine. Finally, she's like moved on from beer. Now she's having wine. You know, I feel like that's
Oh, I
very
didn't know that.
telling.
Relate. Yeah, because it's kind of says to where they're at too, right? Because
Mhm.
having beer is a little more loose. You know what I'm saying? Wine's a little more like, you know what I mean? Like a little couple-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets more smooth. You know what I mean? Like you're getting in
Yeah.
that area. So
And I will say he could put him away, that Brett, because he just stays same keel, right? He just-
Mhm.
I mean, he's drinking to wash away his problems. Like he's he really is.
He's
Now
drinking
they're,
to
now
forget.
they're back in that parking lot again.
Oh
Yep,
well, so
right?
yeah, so they've triggered each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
with their
So-
insecurities.
Yeah,
Is that when he runs out and he
I'm trying to
says,
remember
like, hey, what's wrong with you? Or was that before he ran out in the parking lot? He said, what's up with
Well,
you? I'm
she's
getting them
like
mixed up.
she's like kind
Oh
of
no,
pressured.
no, he leaves. He dips out. I forget what he does. Then she goes check. But I'm trying to remember what he asked her, or he said something to her that hit a trigger.
Yeah, basically she's like giving him a hard time about the shop, and he's like saying, I can't, that's not realistic. I got my mom. Then
Oh, yeah,
she's
that's
like,
right, that's right.
then she triggers him about the home thing. Then
Right.
it triggers her because she realizes like this guy doesn't even know that if he doesn't follow his dreams and do this, like what could happen. And it triggers her hurt. And so then she says, I'll make you a deal. If you just give him a call back, I will tell you the reason why I didn't want to answer the question about kids or having kids.
And this
so
And she wants to tell him too, because she already, you know what I mean? She's letting him in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's so dumbass that he can't even tell. Like she's gonna open the door or something. Like, just come on in. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I think he did a really good job of playing this just consumed character with his problems, because it's like he's just kind of still thinking about his mom.
I just met you.
Yeah, and he's just kind of like, okay. He's just kind of like, okay, like whatever about this kid question, you know? And so that upsets her, because I think at this point in time, she's like, I've got to pay the bill. And she runs out because she's thinking like, oh my God, I'm about to tell this person something I've never told anybody in my life. And that's where we start in the parking lot.
Dang, she pulled out the big skeleton, huh? Right out the car. Like, this is the one that was locked away. Because even... Yeah, okay, go ahead. I'll let you tell it.
Well, what do you think, Nelson?
Well, that's where you split your separate ways.
Yeah, there's a
well, no. She tells him, right? She tells him, and this shit is crazy.
This is like, I think the biggest bomb dropping in the movie is basically. She talks about how her and her husband,
why she couldn't say with the children thing. But
right.
First of all, that's how she sets it up. Like, you know why I said that was the cutoff?
Yeah.
Because, and then she goes.
She reveals something so deeply personal, that her husband that died, they had fertility problems, which, you know, what's crazy about that is I have so many friends right now that are going through fertility issues. So I know it's like very stressful on couples, you know, when you're wanting to have kids and you just can't. And so understandably, they've gotten into a lot of fights over the stresses of that. And, you know, she's
created a wedge and I directly connected with this part, me and my lady right here, because that actually happened to us at one point. Like, it was just, you know, a little bit. Well, in our case, we were losing them. You know what I mean? And that was, you know what I mean. But so, you know, but nonetheless, it's like like you said, we knowing other people, like, because you know when you put your career first, and you get to a point in your life, and it's like, you know what I mean, and it's like a coin flip for real. Like, people don't know, like the miscarry rate is like a coin flip when you get, like, you know, into the mid-30s.
Oh yeah, it's so I think you don't think about that a lot, but it's especially now, and I don't know if it seems like it's harder for people to have kids after their mid-30s, and I don't know if it's because too, like, I don't know. I kind of think we eat a lot of like foods with chemicals. I don't know, but it just seems like it's really hard for people.
Everything.
It is. It's our environment, and so it's tough. And
I'm not allergic to shit. All my kids are allergic to everything. You know what I mean? But
there's something's going on there. You know?
McDonald's.
It seems like every generation there's something now that's kind of spilling down. But anyways, that's a whole other topic. But it can be really tough, and you know, and
that one would hit hard. Like, I was like, like, but to the point, she and her man, for those who know, he died on a job,
and she
prior to him dying, you know what I'm saying,
lied to him.
She lied to him because they went, you know, because they were having fertility issues. They went and got tested, and you know, she was praying that, you know, I mean, that, you know, it wasn't any of them, and ended to be her.
Right.
And she for some reason, and this is where what's crazy, is because this is where, like, I'm like, oh, like, it kind of made me like hate her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she felt the need to say it was him and not her.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you want to know how I saw that playing down for the character in my mind, for me to embody it, I could imagine, this is never said anywhere in the film, but I could picture it. So imagine this, you get into the most brutal fight. Okay. Your significant other leaves for a work trip or whatever, has to go to work, or on the job, they like go out of town. Okay. I'm feeling like she's got all these insecurities already, because they're
defeated already.
She's super defeated. She gets the phone call. And I think, and as a woman, I think the immediate thing you think of is, he's not going to want to be with me. He's going to leave me if he knows it's me.
Damn, that's deep. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. And I think that was how I justified it for her.
Now I feel bad for hating her. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, oh.
I mean, like, you know, you're going to lose your security. You're with this guy and you think, maybe he's one of those guys that kids are so important, and all she can think about is he's going to leave me. If I'm the one he's going to leave me, I have to tell him it's him, because she's so desperate to hold on. But I think then the horrible thing that happens is she gives him this news, lies to him. He ends up dying on the job. And I think in her mind, all she can think about, even though it wasn't like it was a faulty, he's like a lineman, right? So he goes up on
he was up on one of them posts, hella high.
And so he's in a faulty harness. He ends up falling to his death. But I think in her mind, all she can think about is, I'm the reason. He was so distracted with this news that he didn't check it properly. He didn't catch that it was faulty. And if I hadn't lied, he'd still be here. And that guilt of what happened, of him never knowing the truth, and her feeling somehow responsible for
she want to save Brett.
Yeah.
It makes her her compelled.
She's never told anybody this. This is probably like guilt.
And the fact that she's telling him is because she didn't like okay, one thing we didn't mention earlier too in the next morning, because I laughed. I said when she was like, listen, I don't just do this, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
But in her character, she's not, that is in her character though. Like I believe she didn't just do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so like the fact that she's telling him this now, it proves it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, she even talks about her friends, like how they're trying to get her to go out and stuff.
Yeah,
so like what you said, Bogey, like, her friends are probably trying to hook her up with people or whatever, set her up on dates, not about it. Yeah. And this is, I mean, this more like,
and like,
she was torn up about her husband, but not like, this was the guilt that she was carrying around the whole time. This is the whole reason why she was being so fake bubbly and all that. She's like hiding.
She blames herself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that if you feel like you're responsible for somebody's death, let alone your significant other, like what that would do to somebody, the weight of that and the guilt.
She's a widow.
Yeah.
That should, that's another, and a young one too. So it's like, that's a different, heavy as the crown, right? You know what I mean? Like that's
what age were they? What age were they portraying? Because I don't think they ever said their ages, right?
I mean, I think she's supposed to be like in her early to mid 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was like early 30s. That's what I was
Yeah.
Because she talks about, because it's kind of a timeline. It's like if you get out of college at 22, right? Because she said it was like college.
Yeah. They're together
right? 3 years after that, then another 6. So I put her like 31.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it's just
she said 3 years before marriage, right? So that was 9 years.
So they were dating for a while, and then they were married, I think another 6 years. So obviously still kind of young to not being able to conceive and have a child. So that's why they were getting tested. And then to find out that devastating news, it's just like, she probably thought, who's going to want me? Never imagining that like it would get in his head and cause this accident.
And to be honest too, the fact that she's like feeling away with dude when she says this to him is because if this is like, hey, this is me. You take me now as is type of shit. You know what I mean? Because like, it's not going to be something she's going to hide and then one day have to deal with the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I want kids. Well, here's the thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? This is her like actually like opening all the door open, bruh.
And I think what I really appreciated about Brett as the character in this part of the film is that you see him like really listening and caring and saying like, I'm not going to judge you on this stuff. Like he could have been like, whoa, he could have been disgusted.
Like,
and,
I thought looking through my phone like Cindy did was one thing.
I bet he like really hangs in there with her.
I think there's a respect level. Like, wow, okay, you know what I mean. He takes it for. He doesn't take it with a grain of salt at all. He actually thinks.
I think this was
never told anyone else this.
Well, even with like even with her husband passing away, I think that was still before they like had sex. So like he's in like a totally different like mindset now. But I think that's the first time that he thought about someone else's problems.
Right.
10 points right there.
Yeah. And I think she was fully expecting him to be pushed away.
Like shit on her. And
I think she was fully expecting him to like leave, want nothing to do with her because that's what she feels like trash. And I think it floors her that he doesn't.
Yeah.
And so she's so terrified that he won't leave that she pushes him away because she doesn't know what to do with that.
Yeah. Because like Bogey's instant reaction was, I hate her. I mean, I don't know if she hates herself, but it doesn't seem like she thinks too highly of herself because of what happened.
And that was why I felt like that next part where our fairy godmother picks her up was so important that we ad-lib something there just to let the audience in on like just how devastating this whole thing's been for her.
Yeah, because you said there was no dialogue or anything in that. It was just supposed to be you crying in the car and just going back to the hotel, and that was it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, go ahead and elaborate on what they talk about, because I know it's a couple minutes.
In the screenplay, it just said Keely is visibly upset and shaken. Adam asks, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm fine." And that's it. That was it. And so I thought it was really important that, maybe at first he asks her, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I don't want to talk about it." But then I liked that because I wanted to build him up too. He's like the fairy godmother. So he's like really pressing, like, "Are you sure everything's okay?" And finally she just like, he's been so great. So she's just saying like, she finally just confesses to him, like, what do you do when you make horrible mistakes in your life? Like mistakes you can't come back from. And I love the answer he gives because, again, this was all ad-libbed. And I had no idea what DeJean was going to say, but I knew I wanted to say something along those lines for her guilt. Cool. And he just said, you just have to go on and keep living and move on to another day. There's nothing else you can do except just keep moving on. Sometimes that's all you can do. And I thought that was such a great message,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was ad-lib. That's cool.
Yeah. Super cool.
And you just try to make the best of it if you make a mistake and try to carry on. Sometimes it does affect other people poorly, but hopefully you learn from that and can make tomorrow a better day,
Yeah, I like knowing that was ad lib because he was just crying in there. I felt like that just would have left like just a little bit too much of a cliffhanger. It's like we want to know what the hell she's thinking like after this. Like this is the first time she like kind of like opened up like super emotionally, especially in like a negative way. And
I mean, it's almost like imagine this: you've been carrying around this crazy ass load of bricks. You know what I mean?
Yes, horrible secret.
Yeah, and it's the first time she didn't let it out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And here's the fucking the
fairy godmother.
Fairy godmother. He's like,
he has all the answers. As I was just saying, she's just like, what do you do when you have mistakes you can't come back from? And he's just like, you got to learn to live and move on to another day. I'm like, damn, that's good.
Right. It's like it's dope that their characters, you know what I mean? He's seen many moons, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can't just have some youngster saying that, you know what I mean? It won't weigh as heavy.
Yeah, it won't hold the same weight.
Sure. He got some wisdom. He's the Morpheus. Yeah.
So
it was good. I think if a lot of people did hate her after that, but I feel like that might have been the moment where it won people back over.
It made sense though. That's what it was to me.
Yeah. Right.
I went through the wide range of emotions, like like when she said, because the thing is too is I swear to God, I go when she got bread. She got bread. I swear I hit it right on the head though. I'm like, yo, she got bread for that.
So the scene right after they're in the car, they go back to like the hotel.
The hotel. Yeah. And this is where I was happy to have been able to produce the film with Ryan. It's because I had a whole vision for this particular scene ahead of time where I just said, I want to show them secretly, like it flashes like from what one's doing and the other one's doing. And I want it to be like, they almost go to each other, and I want it to be like they're right outside of each other's door, and then they both hesitate and decide not to. I wanted that to just build, and I said, I want to film it in such a way that it shows that.
Yeah, I thought that scene was pretty cool.
You succeeded.
Because there was no words or anything. Like everything had to be spoken with the actions, and I think both you and Frank did awesome. Just the way that whole scene was delivered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of the best scenes don't have any words if it's acted out right.
Mm-hmm. I was really excited. I got to edit the back half of the movie. So that was one of the scenes I got to edit, and so I got to choose the music for it. And I really love that song with the violin and everything.
And this won multiple awards for the score, right? When I was reading through the list of like film festivals.
Yeah, it has. That was the one song our composer didn't do. It was a royalty-free song that I found, but everything else, which is beautifully like there's a theme song and everything ties together. His name's Sander. I can never say his name. Kalamajir, but he lives in.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Oh yeah.
Kalamajir.
The Netherlands of all places, and
cheers.
We actually found him on this thing called Soundstripe, which puts out a lot of royalty-free music, but we really dug a lot of his stuff on there. So just on a whim reached out to him and said like, hey, would you be interested in composing? He's never scored a film before. So I think it was exciting for him to
get the
little piano riff with the
very inspiring.
That piano riff was dope. Anytime the buddy was narrating,
right? The little theme, the da 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 da. And he, my favorite song that he made for the film was the beach Santa Monica Pier montage. But that's I really like 80s pop synth sounds, and he did that, and I thought it just was it. I thought it sounded so good. So
you know what's crazy about this movie to me too is like I've seen a ton of like like a rom-com, from the rom-coms to like the to the Sweet Novembers and you know what I mean. I've seen them all. You know what I mean. And like what's crazy about it is because this one is like a new age version because you have phones and you have Uber and like you know what I mean. But outside of that, that's it. You know what I mean. Because there's too many. You're not referring to Twitter, referring to what I mean.
Sure. There hasn't been a lot of rom-coms made lately. I think. Yeah, I mean, part of it
because Matthew McConaughey got old, man. How ironic is that, huh? He said, I get old and they stay young, and then he just doesn't fit the mold no more.
I will say to Ryan's credit, something he did that was really fresh with this particular rom-com is he's talked a lot about like he calls it the manic pixie rom-coms, which were like Garden State and I don't know, some of those early 2000s.
About Cats and Dogs?
I did not see that, but
what's it, Janine Garoppolo, and then I forget the dude, but that one's like I always thought that was like because that was like before like I mean not before, but that was like one of the rom-coms I saw when I was a kid. Like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah. I should revisit that. I may have seen it when I was a kid, but I absolutely do not remember what it's about. But
they're like she's a radio personality, and then like her friend, she doesn't think she's hot at all, so she makes her friend be her.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
She's the early catfisher of everything.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, nice.
But because she's on the radio,
catfishing, that makes a lot of sense. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one's classic.
But yeah, I've heard Ryan refer to this manic pixie thing, which apparently, see if you can catch the theme on this. It's like girl meets boy. Boy is kind of like distressed and messed up. Girl fixes guy's world. Oh, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Can't buy me love.
Yeah. So there's so many, but he said, and I thought this was
the theater back in the day.
Buddy Love was the shit. Come
that's
on,
what we are.
Oh, he had a problem that she fixed it. He was the nerd kid that never got laid and wasn't cool. And,
there's so many films that have that
classes or whatever it was.
Tina said that's the story of his life. Tina, I keep his coverage with Tina for sure.
But yeah, so it's like, he did something fresh with that where it's like, oh, you think this movie is that formula, right? Like this girl's fixing this guy who's down and depressed.
Oh,
and all
shit, I didn't think of that.
But then it does a whole 180 on you because you find out she's actually the damaged one. And he's the one who like pulls her out of it. And I thought that was so creative and clever that he did that in his script. It is kind of a newer, fresher thing. So
yeah. And this type of movie wouldn't be one that I would search out, myself. Right. Doesn't mean that I can't break it down and review it. And there's a reason why this film won a bunch of awards. And there's a bunch of great dialogue. That's what kind of like won me over, like with it. And then knowing that I was really high watching this movie, knowing that I was right, that there was something wrong about her like the whole time. It took the entire movie to get like the build up was so good that I appreciated like what was really messed up with her and why she was acting the way she was the whole time. And you did a great job portraying it.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah.
And it definitely had to be something intense like that, like where she done lied about the other shit because it made me not feel like, because at first I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? There's something to this, like, you know what I mean? And the big reveal, it didn't, what's the word I'm looking? It didn't, what's the word I'm
it didn't,
what's the not, I don't want to say fail. It didn't,
it paid off.
It paid off. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
The big payoff.
Right.
Oh, it hit me like, oh shit. Stark.
Yeah, because it's not something you necessarily see coming, which I think a lot of audiences don't want it to be predictable.
Right.
And so that's always good when you can surprise your audience.
Especially when I'm watching these movies, or this one in particular with my lady, where she's trying to predict everything. Just, that's what she does. You know what I mean?
Did she predict?
Yeah, she said she was rich. She's like, I bet she's rich. She said he was dead. Like, you know what I mean? She was just calling shit.
Did she predict the fertility thing, or did was that a surprise?
For sure. She was like, it's her. And then she was like, ooh, when the light when you light on it, you know what I mean? She was like, or not you, when she light on it.
Right.
Like,
no.
And she's like, oh, now she got to live with that. Like, you know what I mean? Because when he died, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, he never got to know.
Never got to own up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure if
he wouldn't care after he's dead.
I'm pretty sure like if he's, because like she even mentions, like, I'm pretty sure there was other means of us going to have children, and you know what I mean? Right. There was other avenues for them, but they never got to that because he didn't die. It was like so 2 fresh. Weeks later.
Yeah. And I think that goes to say, Keely, even before this tragedy happened, she's somebody who is very spur of the moment things come out. So I could have imagined that had he not died, the emotion of her saying all that, but then later she would have like calmed down, thought about it. Oh, I need to tell him I lied. We can figure this out another way.
Yeah.
But the spur of the moment, the fear, she just did that without really thinking about it. And so, yeah.
And then she even says it too. It's not like, it's not like I never thought his job was dangerous or not, or you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
I mean, it is like super fluky for him.
It's like a freak thing.
Yeah, he fell 2 stories or whatever.
3 stories.
I mean, the fence
hit a block fence on the way down. Probably snapped.
Died on impact. Basically, what she said without saying it. You know?
And I like the creativity of the backstory, because it literally could have been as simple as him getting in a car crash on the way.
You know what's funny is I be trying to predict shit, and I go, "Oh, he's gonna get electrocuted, bruh." I'm like trying to predict it.
That's why I'm always thinking there's a killer at the beginning of the movie.
Electrocuted.
Never know.
I'm telling you.
Well, there was a killer. It turned out it was a faulty harness. Sorry, we didn't get her stabbing anybody, but there was a killer. She was the killer. She killed with lies, guys. There you go. That's what happened. That
Look into the phone like Cindy. I'm telling you. Red flags.
How did
she killed the what? I missed that.
Like Cindy. You know, look, no, this is my little run-on joke that Cindy's a bit fucking sneaky.
The slutty girl that Brett was with before.
She's the call girl.
Cindy was definitely using him for like whatever he had.
She sounds like someone that like worked like if he was like a manager, like she like worked in the produce section, like underneath him, and just be like,
she was the bad girl.
She was a bad girl at the grocery store. Managers.
He was the assistant to the assistant manager. Like he was like moving up in the world, and she was like a bad girl probably.
When I was with my girl,
like, oh, he's gonna give me a good schedule. I know what I need to do.
Big in her world.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh man.
But
Poor-
yeah,
Lord,
so
right
I mean,
there.
when you guys do these shows, do you give away the end or do you just leave it so people
No,
need
we
to know
gotta
how it ends?
discuss the end here.
You
Yep.
guys discuss the
Yeah.
end?
We're at the tail end of this.
You don't want
Listen.
to leave it on the cliffhanger?
Listen, we could leave it on the cliffhanger.
We
You know what I
could.
mean? Because
Yeah.
we, but it actually wasn't discussed. I mean, because it is something that's not. We're usually doing movies that are already like out.
Released.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we got to keep on it. So we'll
Yeah, if you
definitely
want to
leave
leave
it.
it hanging, we'll leave it
We'll
hanging.
definitely
Well,
leave it
yeah,
hanging.
I'm hoping people
I'm pretty sure
will-
we intrigued them enough to want to go watch this and seek this out. You know what I
I
mean?
would hope so, because it's like, I want to be like, so then what happens?
I mean, she kills him. I mean, my bad.
I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that could happen. It's like, do they end up getting together? Does the guilt end up making her want to kill herself? Does he end up going after his dreams? It's like there's so many unanswered.
Leave her
questions.
behind.
Does she run away with the fairy godmother?
Does she run? Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing.
That
That could have been a very.
That's a
that could be-
possibility. I never thought of that. Alex.
I'm just saying.
Fairy
you know.
godmother.
Go
Oh,
out
yeah.
there. Get out
He's a-
there.
He needs someone to work some Uber shifts.
Yeah.
Now. He's getting older.
Jen, that's also something we do on the show. Is we'll
What?
like remix movies.
Oh, really?
He was a pimp, you know what I mean? And he was an ex-pimp, and you know what I mean. Now he just want to make sure like this young bucks find actual love.
Yes.
He feels guilted for pimping all these hoes.
I mean, I think in her mind she was
she reminds him of one of his bottom bitches. You know what I mean? He just wants to do it right before he hits the big dirt nap. You know what I mean?
I feel like he would have been like a great plan if things didn't, we'll see what happens. But
Well, things didn't work out.
Hey, you know what I mean? She has his number, right?
I feel like that there is a
That's true, she
borderline suicidal moment in the film that comes later. You like wonder like, did she kill herself or not?
Oh yeah.
You right? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Is she still with us or
I
is
was
she not?
thinking the same thing about
Then
Brett.
there's a whole
Feds raid.
thing that happens in a pool, guys. It's crazy. Wait, by the way, I want to feel like I'm part of your guys' club. 1 second.
What club is that?
Oh, you'll see.
Club. Oh, club hat.
Oh.
There you
Now I'm really vibing with the group here. We got
Yes, club
we got
hat.
hat.
There it
Yeah.
is.
You've got a Puma hat. You've got
Looks
a San
good on you, Jen.
Francisco hat. This is a Lucky hat. Lucky Jeans. Who was talking about Lucky Jeans?
Oh, four
This is-
clothes.
That was
This is-
nostalgic
we're
for
going
me.
full circle. This is a
Four-leaf
Lucky
clover.
Jeans baseball cap.
There it is. Look at that.
Lucky
Nice.
jeans there,
Lucky
You know,
Bogey.
you know what we call that, Jen? We call that the universe.
We call that serendipity.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
What is your hat, Alex? I can't.
It's Heisman. It's Ricky
Oh.
Williams. Ricky Williams's brand.
Yeah.
Oh, is he was
Legend-
he a
legendary
Heisman
running back.
trophy winner in college?
Yeah.
Of
Yep.
course.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he's
And
also
so-
like
Oh, was he? I didn't know that. He was?
Yeah.
yeah. And he's
Well, he
also
played for
like
the
the
Miami
face of
Dolphins,
weed.
Jen.
Mhm.
And who else did he play for? That Miami and who else?
the Saints he was drafted to, and then the Dolphins, and then the Ravens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
he's one of a kind. He's on the show once in a while.
Yeah.
Three
He's super
times,
cool.
right? He's been on 3 times.
A lot more than
Like a
that.
dozen?
He's actually been to my house. He's like been to Bogey's house.
I
Like,
know
yeah.
he's at
Has he
Bogey's house
really?
'cause hey Jen, there's one time I'm watching the show. It's like,
Yeah.
is Ricky in Bogey's garage? I don't
It's
know.
like- it's
He
like-
things or something. They go, he's not. You guys don't know him like that, but they do.
And I was like trying to do like
Crazy.
I was fucking
No,
with
I'm
my green
on a
screen.
show where like true celebrities come on board. That's amazing.
I mean,
Then-
shit.
Well,
I thought that's what we
that's-
had to ourselves, like an upcoming artist. See, here's one thing I had to call Nelly, right? Because
Yeah.
Nelly's my fellow Sagittarius, right? And like I remember when Nelly first sent me this movie, right? And it's like I think it was a couple months ago, Nelly. So
Uh-huh.
I watched it immediately, right? Because I'm
November.
thinking Nelly's in it, right? And I go, "Hey, Nelly, I'm like, you're not in this joint." He's like, "No, but I want you to watch it. It's good, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty good, right?" Then like we just sleep on it for a minute, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna review this shit." And I'm like, "Oh, tight! I watched it already." Because like I'm always scrambling to find the movies that I haven't watched yet. Whenever there's like a movie that we're reviewing and I haven't seen it, you know what I mean? So I was like, "Oh, cool! I already seen this one." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it again." So and then I got
Actually,
a
Jen,
female perspective.
I'm just
too.
so impressed that you guys like. I mean, I just maybe this sounds like very stereotypical, but I just like feel like that may not be your genre that you would especially pick out. And I'm like, the fact that you guys watched it all the way to the end, like, props to you. It's such a
Well, they got me watching these shows.
First of all, it's respect for the art. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Actually, tell Jen how they met me, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's super funny because Nelson is in like one of mine and Bogey's favorite movies of all time, and I mean, I saw this movie.
It's a true life story about young teenage dope dealer kingpins.
That's
New York, in Harlem.
And literally the scene that Nelson is in, we reference. I mean, it's a very
it's an iconic
scenes, but it's like a 2 or 3
to make a long story longer. Nelson, he's one of the workers, and he's very disgruntled about his pay. I ain't eating, and then he said, "What?" And they turn him around, shoot him in his ass, pow, and he runs off. And they also like snatch the chain off like simultaneously, right? Oh no, they didn't snatch the chain, or did they snatch?
They did. I watched it back in slow motion.
There's a huge controversy over the chain thing. You know
right? It's like, and like
people think, no, it was done in post and stuff, and it wasn't. You look really closely, the guy snatches up really quickly.
Yeah, it looks like
that's how Harlem was, though. That was real quick.
Where he's like holding him, that it could happen. I saw. Who knows if he actually pulls it off? But it's just where his hand is holding him that it could pull it off.
And for further context,
what really happened? He actually pulled it off, but I don't remember him pulling it off at the time. But I know he pulled it off because it wasn't done in post. But then you see it in his hand.
We'll check this out.
I've got to see this movie.
Okay, look, check this out, Jen. So we're doing this. This is like probably, I don't know, episode. What episode was that? 5, 6?
It's a year and a half ago.
Right. So we're already doing this movie podcast.
We like the movie so much, it's one of our first 5 episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
We review.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we're definitely, when we talked, we talked about doing this for a while, and we're like, we're gonna do Paid in Full, and we're gonna do Pulp Fiction and all this, all our faves. And then because we mainly do fantasy football content, right?
Okay.
So while we're doing this
is like a fun side project.
So we were like, we're funneling these shows to our automatic audience, and so there's one of our guys, Canada Marty, right?
Another Canadian.
He's plays in a bunch of leagues with us, and he's always in, and he's from Canada because obviously he's Canada Marty. And so he goes, "Hey, I watched your guys' review on Paid in Full. My brother's in that movie." And we go, "Word?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Who is he?"
Right.
I go, "Who is he?" This is that universe shit, like we always talk about, because mind you, this might be my entire life, even how I just met all these guys, period. Right. Anyway, so I'm like, "Who is he?" Right? And he goes, "He's the guy in your guys' favorite scene."
Basket shot.
Because he just watched our review. And we were like, "This is our favorite scene." Right?
That's amazing.
And I go, "Oh, the guy that got his ass shot." I immediately know it's him. And then
that's so freaking cool.
Oh, it gets even funnier though.
Yeah.
So then now he's like, "Yeah, you should reach out to him." And we're like, "Fuck yeah!" He gives us the IG. So my man Hustler over here, right? He reaches out to him. You know what I'm saying? And okay, I'll let Nelly tell it, because Nelly's like, "What?"
Well, Nelson doesn't remember this part. He probably doesn't.
He was apparently Nelson hasn't talked to his brother in a minute, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing now, but this is the way that I took it. Was who the hell is this? I haven't even talked to Marty in months. Tell him to hit me up or something of that nature. That's how I took it. And then I go message Marty. I'm like, "What the hell did you have me do?" I was like, "Is he even your brother? Are you just messing with me? Like, what's going on?"
He said it to you. He said, "Hey, man, tell him to hit me, man."
So you got a hold of him, and then Nelson, he
didn't get a hold of me.
Oh, he didn't.
No,
he tried to reach out.
Nelson doesn't remember that part, that he wrote some kind of message back.
Nelson shut him off.
I don't remember that.
Look at the full of DMs.
Get it right back. I don't remember.
But yeah, so then when I messaged Marty, then he said that he reached out to Nelson, and then he explained what was going on, and then Nelson reached back out to me. And
But
then
I missed the message. I don't remember hitting the message. So, and then Marty mentioned it. I go, yeah.
Oh,
You
no,
never
hold on. But then super cool, right? So now we connect with Nelly, and he's like, and so he's like, hey, come on the show. And he got these other things going too. He got these products, right?
Right.
And so we're like, yeah. So he sends us care packages, right?
That's
so
amazing.
I thought that was awesome. So now we get to review. So now we bring him on like an interview, like kind of type of deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I swear to God, all I want to do is talk about Paid in Full. I'm like, listen, what was it like? Because this is like a legendary dope dealer story. You know what I mean? And like, you know, allegedly things, right?
That and doesn't know this. It's funny. You still cast me, but you don't, because we're friends, right? But
what's weird is like now he's in a film I'm doing that has to do with drugs and
yeah, and listen,
that's my cup of tea. Those are the movies that I'm usually watching.
Yeah, I think you'll like the next film a lot.
Nelly is in one of the most iconic movies for like our generation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
Nelson didn't even know how. I don't even think he knew
how massive it is
until we're like even bringing it more to his attention.
Right.
I know.
Because it's legendary. It's legendary.
Yeah,
like, I don't talk about it much. It's true. These guys got me talking about it more, but
bro, I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, look at this. When we post that clip, okay, this is like facts right here. Huss posts the clip, does a little like, you know what I mean?
On TikTok,
on everything,
and Instagram.
It just hundreds of thousands. It goes viral. Like
that was like 8 months ago.
People remember this shit. Like this is iconic. Like, and it, you know, and that scene.
You gotta put that on your Instagram again, Nelson. Or I don't know if you have it on there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because even the one scene on YouTube got 2 million.
There was like Mekhi Phifer shared it. He was like, he shared it in the story.
He did?
Yeah, remember?
He's in a lot of movies. He's one of the main characters.
He's the second.
Okay.
He's the second lead.
Like he was in what's Mekhi Phifer? He was in Rounders, I think.
He's Money Mitch.
I
know that, but he's in 8 Mile. He's in videos too. Brandy.
Hey, there's a low key good ass one. It's called Equilibrium. It's him and Christian Bale. It's hella good.
Oh, Mekhi?
Yeah, Mekhi. He's in that one. That one's a low key one. No one knows about that one.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of stuff.
Check that one out. It's kind of circa Big Brother 1984. Like you,
I gotta check some of this out. I've got to see this movie you guys are talking about.
Yeah. So on,
you know what? I'm not even
Paid in Full.
The stuff I
Paid in Full is what we're talking about.
Paid in Full's not even in there.
Here, let me just because.
We can watch some of our breakdown.
Yeah, we're gonna pull this up. So first off, there's 460,000 views on this clip. So this is the one that
half a ticket, bro. Almost a half a mil.
This is the one that I edited together to make sure that it was like you could see it here. And I think there was like 8,000 comments or something on here. And there's a lot of good stuff going on here. Let me pull it up.
I'm gonna grab another bread.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hold on. Why are we getting no volume here? Oh, I know why. Hold on. My fault. Let's reload this. Oh,
that's the worst.
I know. Just give me the good angle of this here for us.
Where's your view count on there?
Good too, man. So what's going on, man? I'm hearing things, man. Put your hands down, man. Put your hands down. Everything. I ain't eating. You ain't eating. What you mean you ain't eating? You ain't making this paper, man? Everybody eats, B.
Everybody eats, B.
Like that, man. Just turn around, matter of fact. Just, B. Turn around, move up. Stay still, motherfucker.
Oh.
What's up, man?
All right, and shit.
Give me the leg, not the ass. The leg.
This was highly contested. He's shot in the ass. He says no.
He's holding his leg. He's holding his leg, but
he clarified. If he's saying it, though, you know what I mean?
It's the way that people remember it. It may be true, but that's just the way people remember it.
I started the thanks.
I remember I asked you when we had you on that show. I said, so like, because I tripped out. He's from Canada. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit, you're from Canada. Like, oh, so like, did you like have to like learn the Harlem accents? Like, oh yeah, I had a coach. Was it
No, there was a. No, they didn't bother with us because it's like too far gone. But there was the director had an assistant.
And it's okay.
That it was
from
like, Harlem because the director
word you up on like how the Harlem.
He did all the Budweiser commercials. You know those. What's up? Wasabi? What you doing?
Yeah, what up?
I'm in quarantine. You know, they updated it. They go, I'm in quarantine now. So that's This was his first feature, and then I did a couple things, but this is my major role that I got. And then but they try to get. I had one scene where I had a lot of lines, but they cut it out because I didn't sound Harlem enough. So they wanted specific, and then Makai's from Harlem, or from I think he is from Harlem.
Yeah,
he is.
And then and what's his name's from New
Wood
York?
could do the accent, and then Cameron, he's from Harlem too. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Harlem.
I'm not. And there's a couple other Canadian actors they had. They flew us down there.
Because they shot it in like Toronto, right? Like, or
we shot interiors, mostly interiors in Toronto, and then exteriors in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so somehow, some way, our favorite scene from one of our favorite movies led us to meet Nelson, and we're on episode 51 now.
So what happened, Nelson? You liked the podcast so much you joined the team on this?
Oh yeah, so they finally got a hold of me. So okay, let's go back. So Marty, my brother,
right?
He says, "Oh, these guys." So I don't remember hearing or seeing anything, but I'll get a hold of them. And that was like I think in July or August, and then I was so busy. I finally got a hold of him back in like October or something, or November.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I said, "Oh yeah, I heard that you're trying to get a hold of me. I saw your show. My brother says that you guys did the review, but yeah, I'll come on for an interview." And they're all stoked. And then except I came on mid-December sometime.
Yeah.
It was after my birthday. It was mid-December. Yeah. So it was like just over a year ago. And then they asked me,
2022.
And it was fun. I answered all their questions and stuff. But we still didn't even. There's still stuff that wasn't even, stuff that was left unsaid. And but we can still do it again. And then they asked me if I wanted to co-host. I said, "Yeah, I've been wanting to do a podcast and stuff. Doing something." I had a couple of things in mind, but not movie reviews. It's like, never thought of that.
That's really cool, though.
So I started doing it. So I like it. We did it once a month for a little while. Then we started doing once a week.
Do you ever get movies you review that you absolutely hate and you just tear them apart, or like how does that work?
I haven't got there yet. Well, they'll recommend some. I'll recommend the odd one, and then
it's kind of like love.
We kind of been on the movies that we like. Mm-hmm. Like, and we want to like show the world if they don't know about it. We like a bunch of.
So you're just like you won't even comment on something you don't like. Basically, you don't bring it up.
No, okay. You don't like it.
So we actually have a competition going now, right? Yeah. So we're passing the baton around for the movie recommendations from week to week, right? And we normally at the end of every show we'll give a rating. Right. And like, so we're trying to own the movie. Like, we're going throwback. We're going, like we would own this movie. Right.
Right.
That's the highest honor on this show. Right.
Sure.
So if you recommend a movie and my other two peers here say they would own it, then that's 2 points for me. You know what I mean? So now it's a competition. So now we're like, I'm recommending. So I think I'm next on the docket. It's, Denzel Washington in Fallen.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot of bigger movies. You're not doing these indie films.
Right.
That's why we got a kick out of this one.
Well, our first movie that we did was this little indie movie called Pulp Fiction.
They had a major distribution.
Big indie.
Yeah.
No, but we're mostly is going to be studio movies. Not like we haven't done low budget like studio movies before. Sure. But
I was just curious.
And I like bringing movies to like Nelson, like some of these like stoner movies, like Grandma's Boy, where I know there's like no way in hell that he's like ever seen it.
I've never heard of it.
Or Drop Dead Fred. That was a good one. That was
Yeah.
a
That was
mind
good,
bender.
Yeah,
No.
I think we've taken Nelson through our childhood.
Yeah, and trust me, then the first like 20 minutes, I'm like, what have these guys got me watching? This is ridiculous.
Oh, Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
You know,
in,
we
like,
broke
hey,
down the
that's
shit out
pretty
of Drop
good.
Dead Fred. You know, we will break down everything the same way. You know, you like Drop Dead Fred's a psychological thriller, actually.
Yeah. And then even the one with the guy O'Neill from Married with Children. Even that, I'm like, oh, it was this Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
stuff.
the
And
football-
then
Little
actually,
Giants.
that turned out good
Yeah,
too.
Little
Little Giants. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
When we were going on our football tear before the football season.
Yeah.
but none of y'all have seen The Fallen, right? Or
Nope.
Fallen, right?
I remember when it came out though. I know it. I haven't
Okay,
seen it.
good. Because then, like, I know you'll like this one, Nelly. This one's dark.
Yeah,
So
so we're doing
Denzel. I mean, it's hard to beat. You know, there's not
It's
too many
Denzel,
ones that
yeah.
don't like him.
we're doing
Well,
Fallen.
I'm trying to get the ownership points. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I want, you know what I mean? This is a competition going. I think Hustle's leading right now.
Hustler.
Well, Huss got that one. The last one, I gave it
Yeah, what
an
was it?
ownership. The first ownership I've given out.
Oh yeah, two for the money.
Two for the money.
Yeah, and
for
I've
the
never
money.
seen that either.
Phenomenal movie.
Chino and
That's what I'm gonna try to do.
McConaughey. Those are my guys. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
You
a
gotta
cheat
slip
code.
that in there, Huss.
That's a
You
cheat
gotta
code.
slip that in there. That was a little wild card he slid in.
Nice.
That is a cheat code.
There's an underdog.
That's why I went straight to Denzel. I was like, you know, whatever, I got
Yeah.
one. I think I
You know
got
what?
one
After
for
that,
you.
I was thinking, man, I'm gonna have to recommend Scarface. I know I'm gonna get
roll my sleeves up.
And seeing even that, I think that was like a $30 million budget or something like that. But to have like Matthew McConaughey and Al Pacino, and like nobody even like really know what this movie is.
It was
pretty
based on a true story for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, I mean, something good coming we made for under 30,000. So I'm pretty proud of what we did with 7 days and like no money. So
Yeah, and you said it's getting distribution.
yeah, it's
So
So
you're
we're
gonna
gonna
money
make-
back, right?
we're gonna make an announcement soon. But hopefully this
Congrats.
spring it'll hit like the streaming platforms. And
Nice.
for those of you watching, if you go to like Instagram, our handle is Something Good Coming Film. So we'll have like all the announcements on there as far as like who's distributing it and like where it's going to be once we get that information from the distributor. I think we also have a Facebook page. It's just Something Good Coming on there. But yeah, but I'm excited for it to be available to the masses. I mean, hopefully our distributor can figure out a way to get it out there. So because, you know, it'd be hard for people to even know what it is, you know, to get people interested in clicking on it and watching it. But I'm excited to see what it does. And I appreciate you guys so much for having me on and having Ryan on for a little bit there. I mean, this is a lot of fun. So thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
She's in Phoenix, y'all. So you Phoenix, what do you call Phoenix people? Phoenixers or
Phoenicians?
Phoenixites? Phoenicians. So you Phoenicians,
Ooh,
get
I bet-
behind her. She's your home girl.
Hey, I've been through Phoenix a ton.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Maricopa.
Oh, good old Maricopa.
Yeah.
I think my grandpa has property out there, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
I'm from Arizona. I live in LA now, but yeah, that's my hometown. I'm actually here visiting right now. This isn't my typical space, but I do have the poster right.
Nice.
Something Good Coming is right behind me, but yeah, hopefully, you know, anybody who's watching that wants to see it, it'll be available for streaming in the spring. So even these guys who I wouldn't think would want to see a romance film seem like they were able to hang with it and like it. So it's a great surprise for me. I appreciate you guys checking it out and everything. So yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah.
unique too.
Yeah.
You know, it was had a lift stuff I'd never seen before. Like, you know, like how they met and everything, or how they got to know each other. I guess they went from the same
Yeah.
school, but
Sometimes that's refreshing. Maybe you need a break from all the drugs and killings and all that. So, you know, if you need a little break and just want to see good old fashioned people getting to know each other and life.
And speaking of drugs and killings, your new one is not quite without drugs and killing. You mentioned that briefly.
Yes,
California.
I will. I've got to take off here soon, but I will leave us with this: is So Nelson, it was great. So Ryan and I are producing another film. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. It's called Tales California. And the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like a modern day Thelma and Louise. And, Nelson is acting in this
I
one.
love Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
I get shot.
Don't you miss films like that? It's about
nice.
it's about these two women.
My bad. My 2-year-old keeps finding me because they're vacuuming. She's just terrified of the vacuum.
No. But it's about these two women. They're best friends. They grew up together, and they live in probably the heaviest drug traffic town in New Mexico. So, for lack of better words, they're kind of like real trashy, and just, not educated. They've kind of had a bad run in life. One of them is a meth addict or ex-meth addict. She's just kind of gotten out of rehab. The other one's like a klepto. She gets fired a lot for stealing. So that kind of paints a picture of these two ladies. And one night after they're just having, again, a bad night. They end up going drinking at a bar, and one of the character gets sick from drinking too much. So they go to the bathroom. She's puking. Her friend's with her, holding her hair back. And a shooting happens in the bar. And they come back out. Mostly everybody's dead. I won't go too far.
But the shooter.
No, they find a case of money, and they think it's a drug deal, like with the cartel that's gone wrong. And they don't really have a lot of time to think, because a car pulls up and one of them takes the case of money, and they're like, let's just start a new life. They've always wanted to go to California. They're like, nope, there's no witnesses. Everybody's dead. There's no cameras. We have it taking place early 2000s because we didn't want everybody to have a cell phone, and maybe cameras aren't everywhere yet, And that's the setup for the story. Nice. But it's a lot more action, and it's a lot more crazy stuff. They're like on the road, and a lot of crazy things happen. And I think it's going to be a very exciting movie. So I cannot wait. This is probably my very favorite project I've ever done.
Nice.
And I was pretty damn proud. What's that?
Mine too, as an actor.
Yeah, I know Nelson really liked the script, so I was very flattered about that. And I didn't think. I thought I was so proud of something good coming, but I think this is going to top that by far.
You know what's so cool? That this is universe shit right here. Nelly, vouch for this, or remember this with me. We were in Vegas, and we had just finished watching Paid in Full with Nelly, which was already like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
and I'm on the site, I'm shrooming hard at this point, right? And we're partaking, you know what I'm saying? And he goes, oh, look at this. He just got a text, and it was a script.
I forgot about this. Shit.
Yeah.
And it was Tales California?
It was Tales California.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Wow.
He goes, look at this, read this, Smokey. Look at this. That's me.
Do you remember that? I forgot about that.
Come on. I don't forget anything.
That's crazy. That was me. That was me texting him.
There it is. The universe.
Yeah.
Because I was reading August, the whole time I was there, I kept reading and reading because we were shooting in like 10 days.
Yeah.
I had a lot of dialogue. Yeah. You had tons of dialogue, obviously, but I had a lot of dialogue for me to get ready for that I never knew. I just read it.
This is going to be like a true closer to a Tarantino, because there's a lot of dialogue, and there's a lot of action, and there's a lot of cursing, and there's blood. I mean, there's a lot going on here.
I saw a clip.
Nice.
Violence. She's got a nice swing, by the way. She got a good swing.
Nice.
Yeah. So this, and I'll say this again in the future too, Jen. But the like I've done quite a bit of acting, but more I'd like to do more. But the highlights for me was working with Dean Cain and doing a scene with Superman, doing a movie with him. And this actually tops that. I haven't had anything top that, because that's Paid in Full's even third compared to these.
Are
ones.
you kidding?
Getting shot by camera.
I think you're just trying to flatter me right now, Nelson.
No, I will say it again.
You're going to compare that to this little indie logo.
No, but this is the thing is I'm a lead actor in this, right? Yeah. And when I did way more, see with Dean Cain, I did like 3 scenes with them, and then paid him forward to
like
5 seasons. This is like
right?
several
For the craft.
and I
right?
like this is a California story, which I like. We live in California. It's great.
Yeah.
We're from California too.
They
So
want to
that-
follow their dreams, and you
Yeah.
know, it's good. It's got a lot of great locations. I mean, we film in the desert, we film in the beach, we filmed in a shed. That was interesting. That's a lot of Nelson stuff, but
You can see me there. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
Night shoot. It was cold. Once again, we were freezing that night.
I was so cold. This film, I was so cold the whole time. Because we're like the girls are in skimpy clothes through this whole film. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold. This is supposed to be in the summertime, but anyways.
It looks sunny at least. Sunny and warm. I said it looks sunny and warm.
It looks sunny and warm. And I hope that Lizzie and I give off the impression that, oh, it's summer, but
if I was an actor, I would want to play a character that like would have a few. You know what I mean? It's like just be always like just even kill. Like, so it's not that cold. Just boom, knock one back.
That was kind of my character. She's totally different from Keely. I was so much fun. Just like cursing and like a drunkie and kleptomaniac. I cannot wait for you guys to see this.
Shit. I like it.
Can't wait.
I mean, you had me at New Age Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
And I've seen a clip with Nelly in that
2 points for me. 2 points.
You know what I mean? Nelly was in that thing. He was whipping the pistol out. I was like, oh, okay, Nelly.
Yeah. It's good. And this one, I co-wrote this one. So
nice.
Actually, Ryan gave me the script and I liked the concept, but there were things that I was just like, oh, I feel like it could go a whole other direction and be really good. And so I just said like, hey, I'll co-produce this with you if I can like rewrite the whole script. I thought he was going to be so mad, but he was like, no, go ahead. So I did like taking the concept.
I got a question.
Yeah.
When you say like rewrite the whole script, like, so it's like you have this, do you keep the same premise? And when you say rewrite the script, you're talking about like the word, like the dialogue.
I rewrote all the dialogue, but I also changed up the story a bit. Like there were definitely big changes, but it was his like arc in general that I really loved. But there were just things I was like, gosh, if this happened this way and this was a little different and the characters were more like this and they talked more about this, I think it could be just like elevated. And, and I asked him, I'm like, hey, like I would love to have a feature writing credit under my belt. Can I rewrite the script with this vision I'm seeing with what you've already laid out? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. He wasn't like really attached to it. And, I was nervous when I handed it back to him because I'm like, gosh, I've changed like so much. And I basically like, all the dialogue, a lot of it was different. I mean, I still kept some of his stuff. But he was really happy with it. He liked it. And he's like, well, I feel like it's a 50-50 contribution. Like you still left a lot of my stuff. Like he felt like he was still respected, which I was glad. And, he was just like, this is great. Let's do it. So, that was so exciting.
When it comes to creating art and like co-creating and stuff like that, like, what I'm saying? Like whatever someone's creating, like, especially for me personally, like I always put the ego aside, you know what I mean? But then like in the business, it's like who gets when it comes to like crediting it, right?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so like, but he was honest about it. Hey, you kept a lot of my things in there. Shit, it's a half thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's good because he liked the rewrite and we were on board and it was gonna be, at first we were gonna attempt to shoot it with a cell phone. And then after I got very attached and rewrote the script, I was just like, gosh, I think it deserves so much more. And we ended up pulling our DP he's a new grad out of USC Film School. So he's hungry. His name's Andrew Brilliant. And I love his last name.
Hold on.
And
hold on.
Positive vibe.
Yeah. He's got a great last name there. And, he'd never done a feature. He's fresh out of school, but man, the kid.
Those are the best.
The kid is great. And it's like, and we could like afford him.
All my engineers, all my sound engineers, right, in my studios, they were always fresh out of school because they're hungry.
Yes.
And and they want to build resume.
Yeah.
And like no one just wants to put in hours. When you're building a resume, you're gonna put good work in. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get quality, and like those are always that's always what I found, like how you get the best out of somebody for the cheap. You know what I mean? Like
he's what we could afford on this project, but I feel like though it's gonna really benefit him because I have high hopes for the film. He's gonna have a feature under his belt, and hopefully we're going to get this distributed as well. So it's helpful for everybody involved, I think. And we've really elevated it to another level with the limited budget we had. So I'm very proud of it, for sure.
You really just need your name on the IMDb, right? And so you get those credits. And
just be Googleable as the period, right? Is that a word? Googleable?
Yeah. Googleable.
Yeah.
Googleable.
So on that one, you're acting, writing, producing,
producing and editing. Actually, this one, I'm in the middle of editing it now. Ryan kind of handed me the keys after I think he trusts me now because he saw that I was able to edit like part of Something Good Coming pretty well.
What do you guys edit
on? I edit on DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah. And he's letting me essentially edit this whole thing. So this is my first attempt at editing a complete feature film. So I've been working furiously on that.
Sweet.
Yeah. I've been wearing a lot of hats, guys, but it's been good.
Way to do it.
Hey, lucky you. Hey, see what I did there?
Do you do a rough cut first, or do you just do a complete edit? Like, do you do a rough cut and then you re-edit later, or you just do the first editing?
Well, I cut the whole thing, and that's just considered like a first cut. And then we're gonna go back and tweak, until it's in a good spot. Yeah. But I gotta he's the good thing. One of the good things about working with Ryan is he is very time oriented. Sometimes you work with a lot of creatives and things never get done. He's one of those people that's like,
you kind of.
No, he sets deadlines and he means business. He's like, you have to have a first cut by mid-February.
And I feel like a lot of creators are naturally procrastinators. So whenever there's someone with that frame of mind to be like, here's the deadline, pressure makes diamonds. We almost do our best work.
Right.
Procrastinating. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's like, he's told me, he's like, you have until mid-February to get this cut. And if I don't have it done by then, he's going to step in. And of course, I want to see if I'm capable of getting the whole thing done. So I've got this pressure riding on me like, yes, I really want to get this done. And it's good for me because otherwise I would procrastinate,
Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah, for sure. But
so is there anywhere else besides the Instagram that you already gave where you want people to follow you or go check out your work?
No, that'd be great. I'm if you want to follow me personally, my page is The Baller JB. It's a play on my here we go. It's a play. The camera's like opposite. Here we go. It's a play on my last name here, Ball. I got the nickname in high school, The Baller. But yeah, so it's The Baller JB. You can follow me on there. And then Something Good Coming Film, that's our film page. I'm also on Facebook as just Jennifer Ball. And I think I'm gonna make a page. I don't have it made yet, but I started a production company when I started getting into this called The Ballroom.
Nice.
So I'm probably gonna open up a page at some point called The Ballroom Productions, but I haven't had a chance to do that yet with everything else.
The BRP.
You're just busy.
For now, just follow The Baller JB, and then I'll make announcements from there on that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And we'll have you back with Tales California, of course.
I cannot wait for you guys to see that. Yeah. I think that's going to be the best yet. So,
what's the projected release date for that, or is there one?
Probably I'm hoping by midsummer we'll be done.
Cool.
With like a final cut, I want to get the first cut done by mid-February, but you figure by the time you get the soundtrack.
Oh, if you guys need some gangster music, let me know.
Yeah. Well, wait, like
Yeah.
for you wanna do like do you do music or like you clean up the sound?
No, I do all of it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
So
that's
you
all
make-
me in the beginning.
Yeah. So we're gonna need, to get the sound mastered, as far as cleaning up the
Oh
general
yeah,
sound.
okay. I know a guy for real, like my
Yeah.
my counterpart. He's the
Yeah, so
guy.
we're gonna
for
do that. Put the soundtrack together. Maybe get a composer. We're still trying to figure that whole thing out. And then we got to get it colored because it's shot in log, so it's like very flat colors right now.
Mm.
And by the time that's all said and done, you're getting end of spring into summer, I would imagine. So, but yeah, that's kind of our goal right now. Yeah.
Nice.
That's dope.
Sounds
I enjoy
good
the
to
process.
me.
Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah,
And-
thank you guys so much. Again, I really appreciate you having me on, and yeah, I can't wait to come back on the show at another time. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll
Thanks,
definitely
Jen, for coming.
definitely keep you in mind for our next rom-com that we do.
Yes.
If you like,
Yeah.
it would be our first.
Yeah, if you need me to like watch a rom-com and help you guys review it, you're gonna be like, oh, here's the
I'm just
expert.
saying that jokingly too, because we would actually love a female presence. Like we actually,
That's all dudes up in here.
Yeah,
we'd
well,
love to
you
have-
know, I love. I mean, I'm happy to guest star or
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
When you, if you
Yeah,
guys need
we
me,
would
it
love
works
to have
out.
you. You know what I mean?
That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
because we that would be dope. You know what I mean?
I want to be in the hat club, so it'll be good.
There
Well,
you
you're
go.
in already.
I know, it's great.
Well, thanks for your time, Jen. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Appreciate you.
it.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah, gotta
guys.
hit that
I'm
fo- we
gonna,
gotta
I'm
hit
gonna
that
run and go
follow.
get something to eat, but yeah, thanks guys, and have a great night. Thanks again so much
Yep,
for watching.
like-
I'll
Likewise.
talk to you in a few days.
We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night. Back to
Yeah.
the three of us.
Yeah, so that was cool. I like it.
Yeah, meet Jen.
You
My
know what's
peeps
dope is
meeting my peeps. I love it.
I wonder, what's dope is she even said it herself. She was like, she had no expectations, I think. Right?
Yeah.
They're like,
But
I
for the
mean,
film-
we didn't think we were gonna break the shit out of that motherfucker
for
down.
this.
Nah, we break the shit down on everything, man.
Yeah.
You should know,
No matter what it is, man. I'll tell you how the paint dries on the wall.
Say that again, Nelson. What'd you say?
I was asking Boy what he meant by no expectations for the show. Or for
Oh, well,
what
no,
she-
like she was like, oh, I was surprised you guys even watched it all the way to the end.
Yeah, like I think you know what I mean. I don't think
Oh.
she knew like we were, you know what I mean. Like we were gonna take it.
We blew
take
her
all this
mind.
thing serious.
Yeah, I know, right? We don't
we
have
broke
to.
that
That's how
thing
we were
down.
asked.
And we wrote that
Yeah.
thing down.
Right? Because like even just any little thing, like we're just gonna figure out how to dive deeper. Like,
And I didn't want to like,
was it a lie? Was it an experiment? She was just like her car wasn't even broken down.
and what's funny too is like I appreciated the movie already, and then when he kept saying his friend Jen's gonna come on, I didn't know that was her. So I tried not to fan out like, oh shit, that was you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, you doing a show with us. Damn, like I'm glad I actually liked the movie, or else like I would have been like, she was like, he was really rude. I would, you know what I mean? When she said, oh, you're doing these movies that you don't like. I mean, not necessarily, but we wouldn't be afraid to say we didn't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's dope that we liked it because it was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I
the Cali joint too. You know what I mean?
well, like I was even saying, like I'm not gonna pick like a romance movie, like myself, and I'm probably not gonna go like out to the movies to see a romance movie.
See, that's
But-
the thing, bro. I didn't pay
Like-
for them too. I didn't been to all the movies. I paid
know
for
what?
it. Like a man should, right?
I'll tell you guys this. I should have said this, but I told her this myself. I said, Jen, when I went to see it the first time at Man's Chinese Theater or on Hollywood Boulevard,
Yeah.
at the Golden State Film Festival back in last February or March, it was.
Okay.
I even told her myself, I said, you know what? I just came to watch the movie to support you. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was going to be a good movie. That's what I told her. I said, I didn't know.
I
I
real
said-
shit though.
I didn't know that she took her the acting that seriously. I didn't know much about her that. I've known her for a few years, but I didn't know that how seriously she took the acting. And I was like, whoa, I was blown away.
That shit's some range too.
So I was
arranging that movie.
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and like I'm not blowing smoke when I'm saying there's a reason why they won a bunch of awards at the different film festivals, because I'm sure there's a lot of indie movies that are out there that are fucking horrible, that do have horrible dialogue. Like I actually respected how much they actually knew about the grocery store just world when they start talking.
I made several movies that the world would never see.
Just because I know that those were the real codes, like maybe not all of them, but like the bananas and all that shit. Like I remember.
Yeah, I know the banana 14011.
I'll never forget that from when I worked there. So but that just that little part made me take it a little bit more seriously. I was like, okay, well, they're not just like talking, like they may be talking about bullshit, but there's a little bit of thought behind the bullshit that they're talking about.
A little bit of truth. You like
it makes
truth.
it real.
Yeah.
It makes it real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even it was real small, but they're like, remember when we were like essential workers like a year ago? I bet there was a whole bunch of people who like thought about that.
I know, right? they identify with it because it is a little meta, like especially after we got the little backstory.
Yeah,
a little inside joke there because they almost didn't. He said they had to postpone it. Remember?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of COVID. So there's a little
essential workers.
A little meta. Yeah.
Well, there's essential workers up on Santa Monica Boulevard over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't go on the boulevard. I'm telling you, don't do that wrong turn.
Workers, essential for man satisfaction.
All I wanna do is have fun.
Get the feeling I'm not the only one.
Simple lyrics. That's what you. Oh man, that puts a whole different perspective on that song.
I know. You gotta know LA to know it.
But what I envision, for this podcast, Nelson, other than us, just having fun and stuff like that, is like eventually we'll be respected enough to where people want their movie broken down and reviewed by us, because we're we're not answering to any kind of higher power.
And I'm glad she totally said that too, though, when she said, "Are we just gonna give that anyway?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. Good thing we didn't."
Are we just gonna what?
We didn't discuss that part. I'm glad we didn't give the ending.
Yeah, because I always forget this movie is
because we're only do movies that are already out. Yeah.
Oh, right.
There's different levels to distribution. Even though Nelson, you saw it in the movie theater, it was at a film festival. It's pretty much has only been. Isn't that pretty much what happens with a lot of?
We definitely got exclusive on it.
Yeah, most of them are just in the film festival. Some of them aren't even shown in the film festival. They're just we
mentioned
it, and you get
they watched the who's who watched the fucking whoever's on the board.
Or but they don't release it to where the public can actually
exactly. It's just screened, and then they go, okay, you got entered, so you can say that you get one entered for your resume.
Yeah, because no matter what, it's not easy to get into those. I'm sure that no matter what festival.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, dude, the process, but I didn't want to go on too many 12 bogey dumb questions because I wanted to ask him so what's the process like to get into there? Because I'm sure there's tiers to it, right?
I'm sure it's
to get into the Cannes Film Festival. I'm pretty sure you got to make it through all these other festivals first before you get to that joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got to pay. You have to pay to submit.
Oh,
that's how they make the money.
Man, they're good. I never thought of that.
Bogey, you can have 2,000 films submit to one film festival, and they make if they get charged $100 to submit or something. That's a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
And it's 2,000 films, which is not a far stretch.
Boom. Yeah.
100 times 2,000.
Then I got the money to throw the festival.
She was fun. Right. Thanks, Peacock.
Yeah, it was super cool, and she was getting the jokes that we were saying. Even more than you were, Nelson. She was picking up on the jokes more than you were.
Well, me, I was trying to focus on my timeline here and stuff, and you think, bring us up to speed, Nelson. Everything's all over the place. I can't even focus.
No, that was fun though, and I can't wait to break down Tales California. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, Tales California.
Yeah, that'll be cool to be. See, we'll be one of the exclusives, right? That get to see the movie and mention whatever we can about it, before it gets into all these film festivals and stuff, or while it's in the film festivals.
Yeah, this could be this could be the epicenter of the Genesis.
Super cool. I like that.
I'm about to have a gangster ass song in there.
Well, here's the thing I was going to tell you, Bogey, before, but we're before we went on air that the reason why I want to kick up the publishing for me is that I'm making connections, but I just don't want to work by myself. So I would say, I'm not going to do hip hop, but if some film producer say, hey, you know, any hip hop guys, I'm going to you.
For sure, man. Appreciate that.
Right? And I already have some people that are film directors that want to hear my stuff. So,
I mean, how about this? I do
me.
such a wide range of different music, or not different, but like just music, period. That like when we were doing this show, I was like, oh, I got something for it. Sipping screen, bunch of bitches shit. Like I already had that joint in the can, pun intended. Right?
So Bogey, once I do just a couple
okay, thanks, Yana.
copyrights and publish it. Once I get my feet wet, then it's on, you know, because I'm right now I'm in the dark, so to speak, because I haven't even done it once. So once I do it once, it's going to be much easier once I go ahead.
Just like she was talking about that random dude who's doing the score for them. It's like you're just like the possibilities, right? Because like if you know how to
see
right?
what I'm saying too, and he had his shit posted on a publishing free forum, right?
Yeah.
So then that's how he was found. So just consider that too, Nelly. You know what I mean? Because you know, as a musician yourself, you're gonna jam out all the time. Imagine that, like your jam out sessions, you could just record them and you can put it.
You never know who's gonna fucking like the way
they can use it for free, even. You know what I mean? And that's the free aspect of it.
How would you get paid? That's the questions I got.
That's the thing, though. Like that could be just. It's almost like
you don't get paid off the free shit, but it's your name is on there somewhere, right? Like,
you know what I mean? Which could, like, in this case, with the person they hired for the score, you know what I mean, or to do the score for this one. Right?
Here's my question: isn't there platforms where it's publishing, but they pay you? Oh, hey, I like the song. What did I pay you?
Yeah.
Really
Bogey was just saying that's another avenue that could potentially be used with your just whatever when you whatever
jam out.
Yeah,
you'll jam out, just start recording them. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because you'll never know someone might use it.
If you weren't going to do anything with it anyways, why not throw it up there and see if someone does?
Think about this. It's the opposite. Whatever they call whatever's the opposite, the audio version of B-roll, right? You know, B-rolls is like, you know, just like I appreciated that in this film. You know what I mean? Just when he's doing the narration, he's doing a little B-roll, this little quaint town, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that probably doesn't have the same impact if you didn't have that specific music behind it, that motif behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like, you know what I mean? But who is this? This one in this case was tailored to it, right? But like, who's to say someone might not be like, hey, I'm looking for this free shit, like Jen was looking for some free shit, and like, okay, we're gonna use this. Then it's like, hey, I like the dude who made this free shit. Let me holler at him. You know what I mean? I got a gig from. You just never know. Like,
what happened with Christine? She's a film director. She wants to use my stuff coming up in March, right? And she went on these sites and she goes, I can't find any music I like. And I said to myself, I know I like your stuff.
Right. Bye.
So she a lot of them do get on those platforms. Because if you think about it, to know a musical artist, if you don't know them personally, then you gotta pay for the stuff, you know?
Well, where else are you gonna search, right? Like, I mean, that's like kind of it, right? I mean, I know there's a whole bunch of like paid places and things like that, but why wouldn't you scout? You know, I mean, they're scouring the free stuff to see if they like something, and then a lot of times just hiring that person, whoever made that thing that they like. That's what I would.
Even though they hear it for free, they say, "Okay, we like this one song, let's see what else."
I mean, there's been a lot of instances where like people have like a YouTube show, and then they go to the publishing free joints. And then when their show blows up, they've been using this beat for their fucking intro. And they're like, you know, I want that. You know what I mean? And then they go make it theirs by paying for it. You know what I mean? Publishing it themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, because like
the only thing I didn't want to do is put myself out there and someone claim that it's there. So at bare minimum, I've got to copyright everything.
Yeah.
You publish certain things that you want to publish and non-publish other ones, right?
Stylistically, right? Like when you put out a lot of work too, stylistically, they'll be able to tell as you. You know what I mean? Becomes your signature, right? So even your stuff that's for free, you know what I mean? They know as you. They could tell as you. It's the real deal. Here's the thing: whenever there's like a dope producer like Dr. Dre, right? You'll be able to go on any beat site and then look up Dr. Dre sounding beats. You know what I mean?
Like people would just
yeah, because there's the people out there that like make beats that sound like Dr. Dre shit, and then they label it as such. Oh, this Pharrell sounding beat. Oh, Drake style beat. You know what I mean?
They'll sell it for how much compared to like a Dr. Dre?
I'm just saying. I mean, exactly for cheap, like the like a minuscule fraction of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, this is the world where we live in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because whenever there's a popular sound, there's going to be people that are going to emulate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my stuff out there. So first things first, I told you what I'm going to do with you. I got a couple of things recorded in my piano straight through without the MP3, and then I'll figure out the rest and we'll get it going.
Nice.
And then we'll start fusing like with the piano with the hip hop stuff.
Let's go.
Eventually, and then we'll have
all I need is your
stuff too.
All I need is you jamming out on the piano, and I'll just sample you even.
Okay, that sounds good too.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna keep it true to the form. You know what I mean? Like hip hop originates from like sampling existing things and then building around it. You know what I mean? And not to say that I don't make 100% original stuff if I wanted to, but like this is just like I love sampling. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can leave that up to me because all mine's original. I love all the original stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And now I'm sampling some, but the way I would make the beat, if I heard one of your joints, so I would sample it like I would do anything else. I'd find a nice little loop I like, and then flip it. You know what I mean?
That's what I need you for, man. Because I don't do that stuff. I just do the straight up piano. Piano and movie strings, man.
You're a pianist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm immature, huh?
So funny.
Nelson,
well,
let them know where they can find you.
Yeah.
You can find me right now. YouTube.
Yes.
Check out my scenes on there. No music yet, but that's what we're talking about. The music's going to come. So Paid in Full is one of the biggest things I did. You can check out my demo reel. I did a scene with Superman's up on there. Dean Cain back in the day.
He was one of my favorite Superman.
Yeah, mine too. I worked with them. So
that show was really good.
And then I got a couple montages on there. So Nelson Tynes on YouTube. I got a channel on there. Then Instagram, Nelson Tynes _, but Nelson Tynes will just come up without the underscore. And check out my page there. I do some fitness stuff, some more music, a little bit of acting's on there. All business. It's all business. You won't see any personal stuff from me, but everything else is cool, man. That's really
makes me feel privileged to know you personally.
Hey, I'm having fun knowing you guys. I'll tell you that.
Right?
Been fun. Been super fun.
It's funny how we met. That's funny story.
It's the universe.
Where is it? Serendipitous.
It's serendipitous.
Hell yeah! And if you're not subscribed to the Silver Screen Breakdowns YouTube channel, TikTok, and what else? Apple, Spotify, go subscribe. Silver Screen Breakdowns. Leave us a review, and yeah, more content on the way. Bogey, anything on the way out?
Everything's on the way. Universe, give me money.
We'll see you guys next week for Fallen. Peace out.
Yeah, peace.
Silver screen, motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.